It's a new year, new packs have been added, and it's a new opportunity for me to get rejected from the EA Game Changer program. The base game is obviously free now, so it's the least cash grabby of them all. You can literally get it for free. If you don't have it already, what you doing? And hey, you can enjoy the full experience. There are so many mods out there now, so you can enjoy the game in so many different ways without ever spending a penny. It's literally perfect, not cash grabby at all. All of these stuff packs, however, I am chucking literally all of them into the top tier. All Sims 4 stuff packs are cash grabby. Most of the features in these packs were included in expansion packs in previous Sims games, rendering them totally horrendous. My first pet stuff is an obvious severe one. As far as I'm aware, you can only have 5 different tiers in this. Can you have more? Oh no, you can have another one. My mistake. My first pet stuff goes in its own category. I genuinely cannot think of any other example of DLC for DLC existing in the gaming world. Of all the thousands of games that exist, The Sims 4 is the only one to have DLC for DLC. It is honestly not just like in the Sims world, but in the general gaming world, it has made controversial history by being the first ever game to have DLC for DLC. What an absolute nightmare. Taking a look at game packs, Die Now is an obvious severe one that's going in the top tier, and that's because Die Now is literally horrifically broken, and let's be honest, EA knows it's broken because so many people have reported bugs with Die Now to the EA help thing, and the game has been out for so many years now and they haven't even addressed it. And the reason why I'd say it's so cash grabby is because if you know you're selling something that's broken, you're basically conning people. Legally, I can't say it's a con because I'm scared EA gonna sue me. But clearly, based on so much community feedback, the pack is severely broken, even though everybody loves the concept of the pack. If you're buying a product that's broken and it's faulty, I'd say that's very cash grabby. And you know, My Wedding Stories, it's going in actually my first pet stuff. It is that bad. Not only is this pack like severely broken, it also contains a very, very tiny isolated gameplay feature that was previously, you know, in the Sims 3 generations. And the gameplay that does exist is implemented so poorly, it's impossible to use it. And this pack was released just in time for Valentine's Day. I feel like it was just rushed out to make a little bit of money and absolutely nothing more, not for the benefit of the players at all. I would say Parenthood is 4-star cash grabby. Again, this is one of those packs that splits up the Sims 3 generations into 1 billion different pack concepts in the Sims 4. I'm not making it top tier cash grabby because I do feel like it is very in-depth and a lot more in-depth than the parenting feature was in the Sims 3 generations. But I do definitely feel like this pack was made to play on the heartstrings of those who love vanilla family gameplay. And I know this is very unpopular, but I personally feel like although it is a very popular pack, it is very overpriced in that, in my opinion, it really is just kind of like a stuff pack's worth of gameplay, especially seeming that it didn't even come with a new world or anything. It didn't actually come with that many family activities to do. It just didn't come with enough. And I do feel like it was made to make money and not for the benefit of the player. In terms of the occult packs, all of the occult ones, I'm actually putting all of these in the 4 cash grabbies tier. And I'm doing this because in The Sims 3, we got the supernatural pack, which was every single occult into a huge world. Even though we didn't have very good UI back in those days, meaning there weren't the complex skill tree systems like we do have in The Sims 4 occults, they were still just as in-depth and could do all the same things basically. It also came with fairies in addition to werewolves, vampires and spellcasters, and it came with an overhaul to ghosts, and it even came with cross-pack play for genies if you did own The Sims 4 Showtime too. And I know you're going to say Satch Vampires comes with a world, werewolves comes with a world, Realm of Magic comes with a world, but the thing is, each of these packs comes with what, roughly 5 lots each, so that's like 15 lots. In The Sims 3 Supernatural, it literally had like an infinite number of lots, like you could place any number of lots down you wanted to. So I don't want to talk about worlds or lot sizes because they weren't really a thing in The Sims 3. You didn't have to pay a bonus for them. Like every single world just came with an infinite number of lots as standard. So to split up that concept into 3 packs is so cash grabby, to me. But I do admit that all of the occult packs are a little bit more in depth than in The Sims 3, so they're not at level 5. Dream Home Decorator, that game pack is going at level 5. This one was included in The Sims 3 Ambitions, which is like The Sims 4 Get to Work, but it came with tons more careers and other gameplay things. Dream Home Decorator is such a tiny game pack compared to a lot of the other ones. I mean, what even is it? It's just a career. If you take away build and cast because they are not gameplay, the only gameplay that we really got for this was just a small career. Just like The Sims 4 Paranormal stuff came with a small career, and that was literally just a stuff pack. Dream Home Decorator definitely could have been a stuff pack, but was upsold as a game pack with barely any gameplay content. It literally just is a career. I think it's absolutely shocking that it's upsold as a game pack, and it's extremely cash grabby. Journey to Batu. Ooh. Do I put that in level 5 or in My First Pet stuff? I think I'm going to put it in My First Pet stuff. I don't know what went on behind the scenes. Was there just some contract and pressure from Disney to make this pack in exchange for money given to EA? I don't know. I have absolutely no idea. But it definitely does not feel like a pack made for the players. It doesn't really fit the Sims 4 demographics at all. And the way it was implemented doesn't even feel like The Sims. It just feels like an isolated Star Wars experience with a Sims 4 skin on it. It wasn't implemented very well. Again, I don't know what kind of deal went on between Disney and EA, but it definitely doesn't feel like a deal that was made with the players in mind, but more so just to make a bit of extra cash. The other 4 game packs, like, they don't really feel like that overtly cash grabby. I mean, they barely contain any content because they're game packs, but they're not severe, they're just level 2. In terms of expansion packs, the most recent expansion pack, Growing Together, I'd say that's in level 5 top tier. Growing Together is basically some of the features from the Sims 2 and Sims 3 base game. It literally is just base game. I do think the pack is a little bit lazy. It doesn't really include that much content. Or it comes with a recreational center where your Sims can read books and paint, but like you can do that in the base game. You could just create a community lot that's labeled as a general lot off the gallery and do these things. The pack mostly just contains glorified UI changes and animations, yet somehow it's an expansion pack. Even the world it comes with is absolute rubbish. It's basically just Willow Creek. I know all the family players love this pack, and I think that's why it's cash grabby. It contains barely anything, but EA knows players are going to purchase it anyway because they want to live out their cute vanilla family lifestyle in their blue suburban houses. It definitely is an impulse buy pack in that respect, and that's why I don't like it. It barely comes with anything. You can't gaslight me into thinking it does have gameplay because it really doesn't, and that's why it's cash grabby. Island Living, I would say it's a level 4. The reason why I'd say it's a level 4, again, because I feel like it's playing on the heartstrings of those who really want to live a beachy lifestyle, because that's always been popular in The Sims ever since The Sims 1. It's just the way it was implemented didn't feel really that in-depth. There wasn't that much going on in the pack, and again, it feels like just more of a glorified skin on top of doing the same things over again. It didn't come with hotel resorts, which is what people basically wanted in a pack like this. It's definitely a very underwhelming expansion pack, and you're basically paying for a sunny world but nothing else. It's got barely any gameplay, not for me. Cats and Dogs, you're going in level 5. Nobody can gaslight me into saying that this pack is worth the money. In every single Sims game, pets have always been one of the key selling points, and compared to The Sims 1, 2 and 3, The Sims 4 Cats and Dogs is the most lackluster pets pack. It definitely contains significantly less features than all of those. I mean, The Sims 3 had bloody horses. It had tons of NPC animals roaming around. It was a very in-depth experience. Sims 4 literally just has cats and dogs and nothing else. Plus, it has content that was allegedly withheld from it and upsold as DLC for DLC with the My First Pet stuff. It's a very big cash grabby controversy, I feel like, in The Sims 4. Yes, everybody owns a pack because you all want to have sweet pets, but that doesn't make it any less cash grabby. In a way, that makes it more cash grabby because they knew you would have purchased it anyway, no matter what the quality is. Seasons, I actually think Seasons is going up in My First Pet stuff. It's that bad. But Satch Seasons is such a lovely pack. It has holidays. It has blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I'm not pandering the bollocks, all right? I'm not pandering you with all your bullshit about how beautiful the pack is. In what world are we being upsold whether as DLC? I don't care if it comes with fun holiday traditions. They could have been a game pack. Many of you may already know the story that Seasons were supposed to be in the Sims 2 base game, but they couldn't code it in very well, but when they were able to finally work out how to code in weather into The Sims 2, they later on upsold it as an expansion pack, and from there on it's been an expansion pack and not a free base game thing. There's no reason why it needs to be that way. Paying for weather in a video game is absolutely ridiculous, and the worst thing of all is that it almost feels necessary in order to give your game a sense of time. You are literally just paying for a sense of time, and that's all it really is. It is very cash grabby, unfortunately. In terms of a more positive note, packs which don't feel that cash grabby, Cottage Living is actually a very in-depth pack. I feel like Eco Lifestyle is quite in-depth, and I feel like City Living are very in-depth too. They just generally feel like packs that were made for the fun of it for the player. Having played all of these packs myself, I feel like they contain enough content to actually be really, really fun and engaging, and actually give you a brand new way of playing the game that doesn't feel very exploitive. It doesn't feel like it's trying too hard to pull on your heartstrings. It just feels like a fun experience that makes the game actually good. In terms of Get Together, I'm putting this one in 3-star. It's a very weird, long history. Basically, before The Sims 4 was The Sims 4, many of you may already know that the original game was planned to be, well, allegedly planned to be a multiplayer online game, and the original leaked images of this are very similar to the Get Together world, and it seems very apparent that Get Together was basically gonna be one of the major worlds in the Sims 4 online thing, but then was obviously later repurposed as a whole expansion pack in the Sims 4. Don't get me wrong, I do actually quite like the gameplay in this, and I do like the world. It just feels like repurposed content knowing the history of it. That's why it's a 3-star one. The other ones though, I would say they're honestly just 2 stars. They're nowhere near as in-depth as their Sims 2 and 3 counterparts, but they're not horrific. They're just average. Then of course we've got kits. I think it's pretty obvious. Oh, I was putting them in my first pet stuff. They're not that bad. Although, like, on a kind of related note, I actually don't have an issue with kits. I know a lot of people have an issue with kits. I do have an issue with them taking over stuff packs. I have an issue with the fact that they have basically killed off stuff packs. But at the end of the day, the thing about a kit is it's not really gameplay. Although, Bust the Dust, is that going in my first pet stuff? No, it's not that. It's broken. This is a tier list about how cash grabby they are, not how broken they are. All kits are cash grabby. They're made to make money. That is the only reason why they exist, because they don't have any gameplay. But on a personal note, like, I feel like kits are so optional because they come with no gameplay. Like, you literally don't need to have it. It's not like a pack like Discover University, which comes with a whole brand new way of experiencing Sims 4 lives, but you've got to pay for it. Like, it just feels like, oh, you can have it if you want it. If you want to have new build stuff, new creative Sim stuff, have it. Otherwise, don't bother. It's not gameplay. The Sims 4 is a game, so if they're just selling art assets, like, it's not a big deal. I honestly don't have an issue with it. Then we've got the free holiday pack, literally free. What more could you want? It does get updated on the very rare occasion, so that's always good. As you can see, the majority of them are very cash grabby. That is for a reason. The Sims 4 is a cash grabby game. Every single thing about The Sims 4 is cash grabby. None of it, in my opinion, feels like it was made for the play. Even the base game doesn't really feel like it was made for the player. The entire thing just feels like it was made to make money. That's why I make this video. Guys, don't read into it too deeply. Like, this entire video is just a little bit of fun. We all know The Sims has always been cash grabby ever since The Sims 1. There's no point in denying it or treating it like a taboo subject that we need to really over-critically argue and discuss like it's a very apparent thing. I just wanted to touch upon it lightly in a very fun video. If you appreciated this tier list, you might also appreciate and enjoy the next tier list being recommended. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next one.